Descendant. My Ironheart detection system has a scanning function which uses Arcade to detect certain environmental factors. Within zones where Arcade can be detected, my system can track the Ironheart through its unique pulse, particles, and energy. The tracking range and accuracy depends on where Arcade particles are distributed across Ingress. At present, considering the operational zones where Descendants are deployed, approximately 35% of Ingress can be covered. I have just detected Ironheart particles at Sharon's location, which is important. There is clearly something of interest at the Vulgus munitions factory. By using my detection system Descendant, I can find traces of the Ironheart through Descendants who have been deployed throughout Ingress. However, the Vulgus called Eamon, the one who accessed the quantum monolith, gained a great deal of relevant information after repairing the Ironheart. It seems the theft of the Ancestors' data was also led by Eamon. Even though he is a Vulgus, he possesses a high level of understanding of the Ancestors' technology. However, a Vulgus is only a Vulgus. They cannot defeat a direct descendant of the Ancestors. Use me to find the Ironheart Descendant. I will assist humankind from this moment forward.
Descendant, I've received the report on the results of the operation from Colon Special Forces. It seems the core functionality of the guide has been restored. I have a related operation for you. Please return to HQ. Descendant, a quick word before the briefing. You seem to be a little too preoccupied with your AI friend at the moment. As your commander, I'm concerned that you're prioritizing the guide over the operation report. The guide is only a strategic tool. I tolerate her under the condition she does not cross a line, but I don't consider her to be one of us. She is essentially data, and data can be manipulated by external factors, or even by itself. We should never see it as being at the same level as those of us who have fought together against the enemy and built our trust in each other in the process. Keep that in mind, and you'll be the best teammate anyone could ask for. That being said, this operation was expertly handled. I trust you to keep up the good fight, Descendant. As you may be aware, the guide has detected Ironheart particles at Sharon's location.
The location is inside the Vulgus munitions factory. Sharon and the Colon Special Forces have been conducting stealth reconnaissance, but time is running out.
Once you've completed preparations, join Sharon and look for traces of the Ironheart. We've kept our end of the bargain. Now it's the guide's turn to prove her worth.
HQ, we appreciate the support. The operation will commence once reinforcements arrive.
Deactivating active camouflage. Sorry, I wasn't able to help you at the excavation site. To be honest, I'm not sure if my functions, my skills, are at full capacity. It takes a huge amount of RK to maintain the Kuiper retroreflective active camouflage. It feels like my prosthesis and I are both slowly reaching our limits. But if the Ironheart is within our reach, I have to give it my all, even if it breaks me. The guide said that Ironheart particles are the fundamental clues we need to track it. They're kind of like footprints that the Ironheart leaves behind, wherever it goes. I've compared the location of these footprints to the recon intel. We should find more conclusive data as we continue to follow the traces. I'll send the details of the zone you'll need to cover to your receive. The remaining zones will be covered by Colon operatives.
The Vulgus munitions factory. It truly is an ominous and horrifying place.
Can you feel that?
I can experience a variety of sensations through the archy of Descendants, including the phantom pain you feel.
That's for me to deal with, Guide. Don't poke your nose in where it's not wanted. Once I've dealt with my personal target, then I'll ask you to remove the pain.
You refer to the Vulgus you were pursuing.
Tactical target achieved. Zone with substantial logistical activity discovered. A large volume of construction materials have been relocated from here to a suspect zone. At the same time, secret supplies have been transported from there back to here. This is definitely suspicious. I'll send this info to Sharon.
I've taken over operation of the environmental data collector we've installed. When we retrieve it, we'll be able to check the environmental parameters without coming into contact with contaminated wastewater. Will there be enough data for you to perform an analysis, Guide? You know our equipment can't detect Ironheart traces.
Once I complete analysis of the composition of the wastewater, I should know why I can detect Ironheart particles.
Then we'd better retrieve the data quickly. It will only be available for a limited amount of time.
This wastewater is composed of Kuiper extracts and Vulgus electrolytes. The Ironheart particles are most likely bound between those two substances. That's why they were detected intact and not dispersed.
If we can find the source of that wastewater, we could trace them more accurately. I have a place in mind. HQ. While investigating traces of the Ironheart, we've discovered a zone in the factory area that looks to have been recently expanded. Considering the circumstances, I think it's highly likely that there's an Ironheart inside. Requesting approval for further investigation.
Approval granted, but proceed with extreme caution. A large assault ship has been spotted in the airspace above the area. Based on the ship's class, we think it's the same one that we saw Carell aboard. Either he's there in person, or something worthy of his attention is happening. We should be prepared for a challenging situation. We may need to deploy more Descendants. Over and out.
Sharon, do we have any tactical weapons that are capable of destroying the entire Vulgus industrial area? If the Ironheart is here, we may be able to investigate after destroying the enemy's facilities.
It's an interesting idea, Guide. But if it were possible, we would have already done it. Unfortunately, we don't have the capabilities to create such a powerful weapon. The anti-air gun in the Albion mountain range is probably our heaviest hitter. That's why the Descendants and the Ironheart are humanity's last hope. Closing the dimensional wall to isolate ingress from the Colossi and the Vulgus. That would be the ultimate tactical weapon. Anyway, we don't have time to chat. Let's head to the restricted zone.
Hold on a sec. Setting objective.
Descendant. Our reconnaissance indicates this is a Vulgus weapon processing facility. To analyze the particle flow, we need to take a closer look inside. The Vulgus are disrupting the particle flow. Please eliminate them, Descendant.
Need to recharge my shield. Changing mag.
More enemies. I'm detecting signals from multiple Vulgus.
Shield down.
This attack is relentless. Where are all their forces coming from?
Strange. We've already destroyed their barracks. There must be another military somewhere.
Judging by the particle flow, the Ironheart came through here and was moved somewhere else. I'll keep analyzing. Descendant. I can detect both Ironheart particles and its pulse in this zone. It keeps moving. If you and Sharon can widen the range of Arche, I can obtain more accurate information. Please help me. Also, my system has been more inconvenienced than I expected. I believe that once it was restored, I would be able to locate the Ironhearts wherever they may be in Ingress. However, it may be that my system has yet to be completely restored. As I was created for the Ironheart, I assumed my performance would not be this lackluster. In order to achieve my goal, our goal, my performance will need to improve.
Let's think about that later, if we make it out alive. If the Vulgus have a large assault ship, they'll soon be pouring into this place. Number 17 and I will operate in stealth mode. You stay sharp.
Descendant, I have found a suitable location for detecting Ironheart pulses. This is a large nuclear reactor, which is connected to this entire zone. By comparing the reactor's pulses with the Vulgus biosignals, I can detect pulses from a wide area.
Hold on a sec.
Deactivated the nuclear reactor. But right up until it was deactivated, I could detect Ironheart pulses. I'll attempt to trace that location.
Recharge my shield. Setting up. Changing mags.
This is believed to be a Vulgus bioengineering facility. Remember the wastewater treatment plant where we found iron heart particles? The wastewater pipes from there connect to this facility. We can figure out what these bastards have been up to when we take a look around. Look for a Vulgus terminal to access it.
Be careful, Descendant. I've identified multiple Vulgus signals inside the facility. Expect random hostile encounters.
Shield down. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Objective confirmed. Over limit freeze.
We're too late. All experimental data has been deleted.
Not all of it. There's a cache of records about the most recent experiments. It's not ideal, but I'll try to restore it as best I can.
In the meantime, you and I might as well follow the Ironheart particles.
Shield at 0%. Hold on a second.
There are Ironheart particles and faint traces of energy everywhere. Judging by these traces, the energy extracted from the Ironheart was injected into the Vulgus submerged in the Kuiper solution. The Vulgus genes and Kuiper must have fused as a result. The pain would have been terrible. Not even a Vulgus could have endured it.
That's why there were Ironheart particles in the wastewater. But died. One of the experiment chambers is empty. Did one of them survive?
The chances of something having survived this are close to 0%, but I cannot be sure. Descendant, I have pinpointed the location where all of the Ironheart traces converge. It is hidden within the facility of the Legion of Immortality. I can detect a continuous Ironheart pulse and particles, as well as a small amount of energy from this place. And they seem to be moving. I recommend we investigate this place, Descendant. I'll need you to lend me your strength.
Sharon, I will stay behind and retrieve the cache of Vulgus experiment records. I'm sure they'll contain valuable information.
I'll enter the inner facility first. Join me when you're ready. Most of the main passageways are now either blocked or destroyed. It appears the enemy intends to destroy the entire facility. Air vents, drainage pipes, maintenance ducts. Use any available alternative means of escape if you can.
Sharon, I've restored some of the data from the Vulgus experiment records. According to these records, the facility you're in is the private laboratory of General Amon of the Legion of Immortality. As it was Ironheart traces which led us to this place, Corell and Amon might actually be there.
It won't be an easy fight if they are.
Sharon,
Awaiting your transmission.
the traces of the Ironheart detected here. They're... never mind. I will let you know after I've performed further analysis.
Okay, guide. They've synchronized the alarms with the nuclear reactor's self-destruct switch. What the hell are they thinking? They'd rather take everyone and everything with them than give up the Ironheart. I can modify the circuitry, find the alarms and destroy them. Alarms disabled. Strange. I'm sure they wouldn't dare do something like that if Corell and Amon were actually here. For now, we need to stabilize the deactivated reactor, turn on the coolers. I'll continue tracking the Ironheart traces.
All units transmitting critical operation details. From the restored Vulgus experiment records, I've reconstructed an audio recording that seems to have been made during the time of the experiments. Listen.
The Legion will become greater through the Ironheart. Rise, my warriors. If your lives walk, stand at the vanguard. I will stand at the vanguard of the Legion. Al-Zarok submits to Lord Corell's command. The Ironheart will initiate the data reversion immediately.
It cannot be. Then these Ironheart traces are...
Al-Zarok.
I see you found the experiment records. Seems I wasn't thorough enough to clean up. Yes, I am Al-Zarok, Lord Corell's vanguard. Born again, thanks to the Ironheart. Lord Corell said you would come.
gone then.
This is why the traces fell disappeared. Descendant, in order to increase the accuracy of our pursuit, we need to access all the data on Vulgus units who are transformed using the Iron Heart. You must defeat Alzeruk. Sharon, will you relay a detailed report of this to HQ?
Will do. I'll be on my way. Good hunting.
The body bonded with kyber molecules is truly impressive. Very nice, indeed. Even more of our soldiers will gain new bodies through the Iron Heart soon. I'll have you on.
Do you truly plan on inverting the Ironheart data? If you do that, we won't be able to decipher the unidentified guide code.
Enough! The Ironheart data must be inverted in order to destroy the dimensional wall. I don't have time to think about that! You understand my vision now, don't you?
Oh, of course. I am only thinking of our research.
I'm glad to hear that our objectives are aligned. Initiate the data inversion. Clip-off will engulf Ingress. The roars of the Vulgus will fill this land with fear!
Descendant, I have the results of the operation from Sharon. Alpha is tied up with an emergency meeting with the Magisters. I have been ordered to brief you on the follow-up operation. Please make your way to HQ. This is an important operation, so listen carefully. Excellent work, Descendant. Firstly, all of HQ is encouraged by the possibilities presented by the guide. Although we were unsuccessful in our retrieval of the Ironheart, thanks to the guide's tracking function, we uncovered the Vulgus Restricted Zone and Alzarok. This proves the guide's tracking system exists and is operational. However, the ingenuity that the Vulgus demonstrated with their use of the Ironheart was alarming. So much so that the Magisters requested an emergency meeting with Alpha. In particular, the inversion of the Ironheart ordered by Corral is something we must understand, no matter the cost. From this point forward, HQ plans to adopt the guide's tracking functionality and the various other information sources they offer as official operational elements. The Descendants will soon be deployed throughout Ingress. Use the guide to track the Ironheart and proceed with the mission to investigate the inversion procedure. Humanity's full-scale counterattack has officially begun. However, I know you have just completed a difficult mission. Until the official deployment order is given, please go ahead with whatever preparations you need to make. The Magisters have promised their full commitment to support research efforts, so this is the Before you go, Descendant, I have a personal request. Can you retrieve the Alzarok autopsy report from Jeremy? The report was intended for delivery to the Magisters. Jeremy requested a brief look at it, and I haven't heard from him since. I understand things are strained between you and Jeremy due to the recent operation, but I hope you'll do this anyway. Descendant, just in case, I hope you're not disappointed that Jeremy wasn't punished. I actually saw Alpha slap Jeremy earlier. No one enjoys seeing their superior do something like that, but I believe it was a more appropriate punishment than a court-martial. I'm sure that Jeremy has also learned his lesson.
What the? You're still alive? I was just reading the report on Alzarok and thinking, wouldn't it be great if he, killed you? Anyway, looks like he got to experience something interesting at least. A Vulgus redesigned by the Ironheart. Wow. Now, that's an area that fascinates me. If I knew you'd be seeing that, I would have stuck with the operation instead of dropping out. And I wouldn't have been slapped by Alpha. Anyway, why are you here? I'm in a bad enough mood already after Sharon and her minion drop by to give me a piece of their minds? What? Nell wants the... So you're her gopher. You really are... something. You probably don't have time to argue with me anyway. All these so-called...
Descendant, something has altered the properties of the Ironheart I was connected to. As soon as we returned to Albion, I leapt between the arcade of different Descendants in order to find Ironheart traces. I discovered traces in the desert and forest areas, and at that moment, I felt great pain. In human terms, it felt like my skin was peeling off and my flesh was melting. Descendant, I suspect this phenomenon is caused by an inversion process. If Corell and Eamon had enough time after moving the Ironheart, they may have managed to perform. However, for the problem... Descendant, this got the answer. I thought it would be...
Classification type, stunning. All Descendants in Albion, prepare for an intercept battle.
They're arriving on the daily! And not just any Colossus, but stunning beauty? Somebody buy Alpha a new pen? He's gonna have to write so many letters of condolences today.
Alpha let him off with just a slap in the face. He should have gone after his neck.
I don't disagree.
If it's new research, I'm listening. Humanity is very weak. That's why humans need us so desperately.
Ready to undertake a Descendant, the Colossi is, although the stunning, but now Descendant up. Have you completed preparations? I am analyzing the Void Paradox. Descendant, you have been successful. We live in uncertain times, but thankfully the skills of the Descendants remain stable and unchanged. Even if using the word stable in our current situation is embarrassingly ironic. The dimensional wall is currently in the worst state it has ever been. Before now, it was almost unheard of for an energy-insensitive colossus like Stunning Beauty to be able to find its way here. We must find the Ironheart and connect it to the Prime Hands as soon as... Close it!
I suppose everyone thinks the dimensional wall is the only answer.
Are you saying it isn't?
I cannot say whether it is or not. As we do not have an Ironheart, nothing can be proven.
You think too much. We should find a heart and prove it then. I'm pretty sure there's one in Vespers. Traces from another Ironheart have been discovered in a forest in Vespers. I've already spoken with HQ. Let's discuss operation strategies. Come with me. I was wondering who it was. It was you? Sorry, I know you probably wanted some rest after taking out that Colossus. Anyway, like I said over comms, we've discovered Ironheart traces in Vespers. I had business to attend to with the Order of Truth, so I was hunting down some Vulgus there. Suddenly, the guide appeared, claiming she felt the pulse of an Ironheart in the area, and then simultaneously in multiple areas. According to the guide, these multiple signals weren't byproducts of the Ironheart like Alzarok was. Comparing it with the data we have now, there really seems to be a difference. Now, well, it's obvious, isn't it? We have no other choice but to check every single location she's detected. When I came back to HQ to report on my operation, they told me to take reinforcements, and I chose you. Jeremy makes me very uncomfortable. But I have no trouble trusting you. So, you in? I'll take your silence as consent. I knew you'd accept, even if you didn't actually say it. We'll head to the Vespers outpost once you're ready. It'll give Dr. Glay time to join us.
You're here. I thought you'd be late.
We've got a few things to do. We need to hurry.
Talk to me. We've received operation details. The Ironheart pulse has supposedly been detected in this area, but it's impossible to triangulate since it's dispersed in several directions.
That's correct, Glay. I can feel it clearly, but it's hard for me to pinpoint its exact position. However, I can confirm it is in this zone.
We were deployed here to find one thing, and now we also have to find the Ironheart. We'll have to look under every rock in Vespers.
Freyna and I were sent here to look for a group of Vulgus. Freyna...
Those bastards.
If the Iron... Not only, it's all... That's one... The character...
When I am, all entrances...
In that case, we'll need to check...
Alright,
Freyna, I understand there are specialized drones that Albion has created to find the Ironheart.
That's correct. Enzo's sending the drones here shortly.
That is excellent news. Let's begin our search for the Ironheart in earnest.
This is Enzo. I have set coordinates for the scan drone. However, Vulgus forces have been spotted in the area. If the drone is damaged, it may make this operation more difficult. We need you to eliminate all enemies within the operation zone. These ones may not pose much of a challenge, but another force is inbound. Prepare yourself.
They have guards stationed at the entrance. Even the Vulgus know that there is an Ironheart here.
Engagement.
Target spotted. Danger assessment, normal. Defeating this Vulgus will force the enemy to retreat.
Enemy forces within the operation zone have been eliminated. Great job. The scan drone has been successfully transferred. If you approach it, it will recognize your receive and activate scanning operations.
Descendant, I was able to connect with the scan drone through your receive. I will analyze the geological data that has been collected and narrow the range of potential entrances. Data acquisition at 100%. Connection to the drone has been severed. Reanalyzing the collected data.
This is Glay. I've found something. Meet me at the ruins outpost.
interrupters. But you're almost done. Hang in there just a little longer. Thanks, Descendant. I'll analyze this quickly and share the details with you.
is Enzo. I have set coordinates for the scan drone. However, Vulgus forces have been spotted in the area. If the drone is damaged, it may make this operation more difficult. We need you to eliminate all enemies within the operation zone. These ones may not pose much of a challenge, but another force is inbound. Prepare yourself.
We have guards stationed at the entrance. Even the Vulgus know that there is an Ironheart here.
High-level enemy has been detected. Prepare for engagement.
Target spotted. Danger assessment, normal. Defeating this Vulgus will force the enemy to retreat.
Enemy forces within the operation zone have been eliminated. Great job. This is Enzo. I have set coordinates for the scan drone. However, Vulgus forces have been spotted in the area. If the drone is damaged, it
may make this operation more difficult. We need you to eliminate all enemies within the operation zone. These ones may not pose much of a challenge, but another force is inbound. Prepare yourself.
Setting a sector.
We have guards stationed at the entrance. Even the Vulgus know that there is an Ironheart here.
High-level enemy has been detected. Prepare for engagement.
Target spotted. Danger assessment, normal. Defeating this Vulgus will force the enemy to retreat.
Enemy forces within the operation zone have been eliminated. Great job.
Target confirmed. Ready to fire. Are you?
Talk to me. This place has been mentioned. The ruins.
Given the past or present.
This is the Iron...
Glay,
I just wanted...
Sounds like you'll have...
I have so...
Enzo here. I've been able to expand my range to the vicinity of the ruins thanks to the data acquired by the drones and the guide. Transmitting surface analysis information and intel on potential entrances to Aceives.
That's not far from my current position.
Are you?
I'll go.
Glay, I'll go.
Target
That's where the
confirmed.
bastards from the Order of Truth have settled. I'm the only one who can withstand the toxins they use.
I'll leave it to you then.
HQ will continue to monitor the situation. Should anything happen to Freyna, please report immediately. Guide, it's just as you said. The Vulgus have realized there is an Ironheart here. A Vulgus battleship has been spotted heading to our current location.
A battleship. Then there can be no doubt that there is an entrance here.
Watch out. Movement on your right flank. Reinforcements spotted. There's too many blind spots. Get to the top of structures and engage them from there. Another wave of enemy forces is inbound. Watch out.
Descendant. They aim to prevent you from reaching the entrance. Exercise caution when engaging them in combat.
All enemy forces have been eliminated. Excellent job.
Hey, Descendant. I heard Vulgus electrical equipment is obstructing the search operation. Vulgus generators emit powerful static. That's probably what's getting in the way. There is a solution, of course. I'll tell you when I spot a unit which has a high voltage fuse. Then you just need to blow the circuits using the fuses. Unit with a fuse identified. Take it out. Second fuse reaction confirmed. All right, let's keep it rolling.
How has it spread this far? I'm guessing the infection rate at the entrance has increased. Bacteria reproduce at an incredibly fast rate, and it's extremely viscous. So it's almost impossible to get rid of it. The target has been eliminated, but we need to look for another entrance. We won't be able to use that one anymore. This is Glay to HQ in Freyna. The enemy has made the entrance discovered at the ruins currently inaccessible. Freyna, what's the situation on your side?
It's not inaccessible, but I'm worried about how the Order's toxins might affect you.
Looking at Freyna's route, I can detect large quick pulses occurring at the place marked as the entrance.
That means there's a high chance this entrance is connected to the Ancestors' ruins. Let's regroup and go together.
Target
Descendant, your timing is perfect. I need you to defend the equipment that has been installed. I've identified a biosignal at the back of the facility that seems to be expanding in real time. It could be a pathogen spread by the order. Neutralizing pathogens becomes a lot easier if we know what we're dealing with. Protect the equipment and we can analyze it.
Okay, be sure the analyze data will be too.
Of course. See, I can properly assist you now, Clay. Figures are rising. Hang in there just a little longer. Well, they definitely know all the tunnels are connected underground, don't they? At this rate, Descendant, it'll be difficult for the equipment to pick up any useful data.
Operation complete. Okay? Don't forget to share the data.
You said something? You're here. It's a good thing I took this side. Neither you nor Glay would have lasted. Let's go find this entrance. Ugh, I thought I crushed...
We don't have...
All right. Hey, Kate? Can you hear me?
Huh? Freyna? Yes, I hear you. What's happening? Anything I can help you with?
I overheard your comms with Glay. You're doing something with the fungus, right? If we collect enough fungi, will you be able to make an antidote or antibody that gives us immunity?
Of course. Although it may take some time, it's not impossible.
Great idea. Kate, if you have any questions during production, get in touch right away. And remember to be methodical. You make mistakes when you're rushing.
Wait, that was over 5 years ago. I'm not the same person I was back then.
Our objective is to secure as much fungi as possible. Let's hurry. If we have an antidote or antibodies that give us immunity, the mission will become much easier.
In order to quickly produce immunity antibodies, we need data on the antidote mechanisms stored in Albion. After comparing the data we have with Albion's existing data, we can either imitate it or create something similar. But since we need the data to be transferred safely, we need you to protect it. All we need to do now is wait.
Immunity antibodies or an antidote, we need to understand the type, structure, and reactive mechanism of the toxin. We'll need tissue samples from the Vulcans. Let's go collect some. This should be enough.
Using the material you gathered, I've made an antibody that gives immunity from the Order's most commonly used toxin. But because of time constraints, I haven't been able to conduct any formal clinical trials.
So we're the guinea pigs.
This will be an excellent opportunity, Kate. You'll be able to collect data on the side effects of the antibody on the Descendants.
Those Order bastards planted some kind of device here. We'll need to open it to find out what it is. But let's send it to Kate first and get her to analyze it.
Access successful. Beginning decryption. I was able to hack into a section of the data. I've discovered that it is a substance administered by Vulgus of the Order of Truth. It appears to be a type of booster that activates toxins in the body.
They were afraid we would destroy this, so they hid it.
Attempting access. I will disable their security protocols.
It's been smooth sailing up until now. Keep your guard up.
Security protocols have been disabled. Descendant, destroy the upper section.